In this video, I will explore the concept of grief, offering insights into what is grief, its stages, and how to cope with it. I will also talk about some myths and true facts regarding it. Grief is a universal experience, an emotional journey that touches us all at some point in our lives. It's a complex and often challenging process, but understanding and acknowledging grief is important for healing. Grief is the natural response to loss, whether it be the death of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or any significant life changes. It's important to recognize that grief is a unique and personal experience. There's no right or wrong way to grieve. It's like riding a roller coaster of emotions with ups, downs, and unexpected turns. Grieving often involves a series of stages, though it's important to understand that not everyone experiences these stages in the same way or order. The commonly recognized stages are denial. At first, it might be hard to believe that the loss has occurred. Denial is a natural defense mechanism that helps us process the shock gradually. Anger. As reality sets in, anger may emerge. This anger can be directed at oneself, others, or even the situation. It's a natural part of the healing process. Bargaining. In this stage, individuals may find themselves making deals or seeking ways to reverse or mitigate the loss. It's a way of trying to regain control. Depression. Feelings of overwhelming sadness and despair may surface as the full weight of the loss becomes apparent. It's important to acknowledge and express these emotions. Acceptance. Eventually, acceptance emerges. This doesn't mean forgetting the loss, but rather finding a way to move forward with life, incorporating the changed reality. Let us discuss the coping strategies. Talk to friends, family, or a counselor. Sharing your emotions can be therapeutic and help you process your grief. Grieving can take a toll on your physical and mental well being. Ensure you get enough rest, eat healthy, and engage in activities that bring you comfort. Stabilizing rituals or routines in memory of the person or thing you have lost can provide a sense of continuity and connection. Don't hesitate to learn on your support system. Surround yourself with people who understand and can offer a listening ear. Grief is a natural and unavoidable part of life. While the pain may not completely go away, it does evolve over time. Understanding and navigating grief involves acknowledging your emotions, seeking support, and allowing yourself the time and space needed for healing. Many of us wrongly think that some losses are more acceptable or valid than others. We tend to judge the intensity of someone's grief based on social norms. But the truth is, these examples are more alike than different. If you dig deeper into any significant loss, you will find two common factors: how crucial it was to a person's identity and the absence of a certain emotion. Identity is about how we see ourselves, a mix of experiences, values, abilities, and expectations. When a meaningful part of our life is lost, it can change how we perceive ourselves and our place in the world. Such losses create gaps in a person's identity. These losses not only impact self perception but also behavior. Another aspect of loss is the missing emotion. It's not just about losing something tangible like a person or a skill. The grief comes from the loss of the emotions associated with that thing or activity. So, how do we cope with grief? Seeking counseling is one option, but another approach is experimenting with activities that can generate similar emotions. It's like being a scientist and trying different things until you find something that brings back that feeling. The key is to mourn the loss, understanding its role in your identity and emotional fulfillment, and actively search for ways to fill the void. But how long does it take to recover from grief? The intensity and duration of grief vary greatly, not only within the same individual over time or after different losses, but also between people who have suffered actually similar losses. Multiple forces influence and intensity and duration of loss, including, among others, the individual's pre existing personality, attachment style, genetic makeup, and unique vulnerabilities, age and health, spirituality, and cultural identity, supports and resources, the number of losses, the nature of the relationships. While each person's grieving process is unique, there is a type of grief that is disabling, interfering with functions and quality of life. In the absence of targeted interventions, this prolonged, complicated grief response is chronic and persistent and can be life threatening. Let us discuss about myths and facts about grief. Myth: the pain will go away faster if you ignore it. Fact: trying to ignore your pain or keep it from surfacing will only make it worse in the long run. For real healing, it is necessary to face your grief and actively deal with it. Myth: it's important to be strong in the face of loss. Fact: loss can cause feelings of sadness, fear, or loneliness. Crying does not imply weakness. You don't have to put on a brave face to protect your family or friends. Explicitly expressing your true feelings can benefit both them and you. Myth: if you don't cry, it means you are not sorry about the loss. Fact: crying is a normal response to sadness, but it's not the only one. Those who don't cry may feel in the pain just as deeply as others. They may simply have others' way of showing it. Myth: grieving should last about a year. Fact: there is no specific time frame for grieving. How long it takes differs from person to person. Myth: moving on with your life means forgetting about your loss. Fact: moving on means you have accepted your loss, but that's not the same as forgetting. You can move on with your life and keep the memory of someone or something you lost as an important part of you. In fact, as we move through life, these memories can become more and more integral to defining the people we are. When it comes to sadness and loss, there is no need for judgment or anger. Everyone's experience with loss is valid. So accept what you have lost, recognize how it has affected you, and be willing to try new things in order to achieve healing and fulfillment. Thanks for watching.